Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It is now 6 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the Tuesday, June 10th meeting of Sumter County Council. Let us stand, please, for our invocation and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Let us pray. Our dear, kind Heavenly Father, we do acknowledge you as the one in whom we live and move and have our being. We thank you for bringing this county council together once again to discuss the business that you have anointed us to discuss and to make the decisions that you will approve of us as we think through every item that is before us. We thank you for being the ultimate provider. We thank you for just blessing us that we are able to discuss and to take action on financial responsibilities. Help us to have kind hearts. Help us to think through every line that is given us, and help us to realize that you are a provider and that you will help us to make the means by which we are presented in this budget. We thank you for everyone under the sound of my voice. We thank you for our school district, and we just acknowledge that it's not always easy. We ask that you continue to bless them, that they will be able to prepare the children, the young minds that you have appointed for them to take care of. And we ask that you help us to be that anchor to help them do what they need to do. Always remember the men and women who are serving in uniform and serving our country, especially those who are serving in harm's way. Don't forget them and let them know that they are not alone. These and all blessings we thank and ask in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes.
I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we approve our agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We have a motion to approve our minutes from our last meeting, which was held on May 27th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we approve our minutes from our last meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is land use matters and rezoning requests, Ms. Woodward.
Good evening, Helen Rubin for planning staff. Our first request this evening is RZ 2503 at 1940 Peach Orchard Road. The applicant is E&E Investments, represented by Mr. Buddy Ward, one of the partners, as the authorized agent for the property owner. This is a request to rezone a balance of the property, which is approximately 3.47 acres of the overall 4.5 acres, from agricultural conservation to general commercial. This is the property in question. It actually has frontage on Peach Orchard Road. Historically, it was a non-conforming mobile home park that has actually been out of operation. All of the mobile homes have been removed from the property, and it currently has one derelict building on front of the property, but the remainder of it is wooded. As you'll see, it's actually split zoned. When the county went to countywide zoning, that Peach Orchard Road strip of land actually had the property the first 300 feet from the center line of the road of all those properties got zoned general commercial, but on those longer tracks, it didn't take the entire parcel into the zoning district. It left it in two separate zoning districts. So this request is coming forward because they would actually like to redevelop the property, and the fact that it is split zoned makes it difficult to do that because it gives them multiple sets of development standards. It also, there is mismatch between the permitted uses in the AC and GC zoning district. In this particular instance, The applicant is proposing the rezoning because they would actually like to create a storage property for boats and RVs, similar to, for lack of a better word, mini storage for excess vehicles. But that's not allowed in the AC zoning district. It is allowed in the general commercial district. Understand that they are not tied to any particular use, so that if the property is zoned to general commercial in its entirety, any use in the GC district would be allowed and would be reviewed in light of those development standards. The property is in the military protection area in the 2040 comprehensive plan. In this instance, we look at rezoning actions that take steps to reduce residential density. So we do find that rezoning the balance of the property from agricultural, which does allow residential development at 1 unit per acre, also permits manufactured homes, to general commercial, which does not allow manufactured homes, is compatible with the comprehensive plan. The Planning Commission did recommend approval of this request. We do believe that it is best practices to bring the property into a single zoning district to allow uniform development, and so that we are all working with one set of rules through that development process. I am happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Move for approval first reading. We have a motion and a second to have first reading on RZ request number 2503. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. First reading passes.
Our next request is RZ 2504. This is a little bit further down the road, a little bit past Shire Force Base at 2615 Peach Orchard Road. The applicant is Mr. Craig Bell, the property owner. In this case, it's a request to rezone 4.3 acres from general commercial to light industrial warehouse. This is the property in question, and it's right where Raccoon Road and Peach Orchard Road split. Historically, this property was developed with some sort of what we would assume is a warehouse or light manufacturing use that predates countywide zoning. The building was built in the 1980s. The back part is a warehouse. There are loading docks on the side of it. The front's some office space. As you can see, the entire tract was brought into the general commercial district at the time of countywide zoning. And from an overlay standpoint, it is in the military protection planning area, which you'll see in a minute, but it's also in the noise attenuation zone for our Air Force Base because of its proximity to the airfield. Like I said, the site was improved in the 1980s. That building is a warehouse with some similarities to what you would commonly see in the LIW zoning district. And the rezoning is being requested because the applicant would like to move their product packaging and light manufacturing for their honey and operation. He raises bees to this facility. The general commercial zoning district doesn't allow that. This is also in the military protection planning area, so any rezoning action that takes a step to reduce the concentration of people, which LIW generally does from general commercial, is supported by the comprehensive plan. Just for reference, this is I snagged these from Google Street View because of its location. It's kind of hard to safely take pictures of the road, so thank you for technology. This was from earlier this year. The photo you've seen here is taken from the north side of the building. And then this is the south side or front of the building. So there's some office space on the front. If you look very, very closely, there's an old industry sign on the front of it that looks like it was some sort of light warehouse facility at some point, but it hasn't been used for that for quite some time. The Planning Commission did recommend approval of this request. We do think that it's in general line with the comprehensive plan, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Approval of first reading. I move for properly seconded that we have first reading on RZ 2504. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
RZ 2504 first reading is passed. RZ 2505.
Now we're going to go a little bit east and south of Shire Force Base. This is at 3535 Broad Street. The applicant is Nilesh Patel. They are the property owner, and it's to request to rezone a balance of the property, 2.44 acres from the overall 4.77 acres from residential 15 to general commercial, again, to bring the property all into one zoning district. The property is located at the intersection of Broad Street and T-Berry, and it actually predates development standards that we're currently operating under. There is a mini storage facility on the R15 piece of the property at the back, and there is a motel on the front of the property. This is bisected, as you can see, by the split zoning of the property. And so, as with the previous request, where we have a split zone situation, they're asking to bring it all into the general commercial district so that they can bring the entire property into a zoning designation that, one, allows the business activities that are happening on the property, and then two, will allow them to actually reconfigure some access on the property so that they no longer have to bring traffic for that mini storage facility through the motel property, but can access from T-Berry. This property too is in the military protection planning area, so any rezoning action that actually removes a residential designation that allows for more intense residential development is supported by the comprehensive plan. And Planning Commission also recommended approval of this request for the same reasons as the previous request, because it is a best practice to have similar zoning districts for comprehensive development. Happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Move for approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we have first reading on RZ 2505. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. First reading of RZ 2505 is passed. Thank you, Ms. Ruth. Ordinance number 251026, bond issuance and sale, Ms. Nixon.
Chairman, council members, good evening. Tonight, ordinance 25106, better known as our bond issuance and sale of general obligation bond series 2025, is a request to approve capital purchases in our annual budget of $5 million, up to $5 million. What is proposed and what has been approved to date by council is for public safety, $1,669,473. For IT purchases, $308,500. Public buildings, $2,480,265. Recreation, $34,252. And for vehicles, $507,510. So that's the capital request for the $5 million issuance of several bonds.
Prior to council taking a vote on this, we will have a public hearing. I now declare a public hearing open. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance for the bond issuance and sale, please proceed to the podium, state your name for the record. You have up to 3 minutes. Hearing none, public hearing is closed.
Make a motion to approve.
Been moved and properly seconded. We have third reading on ordinance number 251026, which is our bond issuance and sale. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Nay.
Can we do that again?
What do you say? Ayes?
Yes. Okay, and none of it passes 6-1. Ordinance number 251027, budget ordinance. Mr. Nixon.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Yes, this is ordinance 251027, better known as our annual budget ordinance. And I'd just like to remind the audience, and certainly council's aware of this, this is our annual budget process for our general fund. The budget process starts for the county actually in February. That starts with preliminary meetings with our department heads where we review their department requests. Then we actually start meeting with council in April. So April through to date, there have been a number of workshops, and what we're presenting tonight is based on a culmination of all that work that's been done by staff and council. And what we're presenting tonight, sir, is a balanced budget of $65,179,733. That's general fund revenues of $64,688,670. We are asking, and what council has approved in our previous workshop was the use of $491,063 to balance that budget again at $65,179,733. Balanced budget with no tax increase, sir.
And that money is coming from the fund balance, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also,
Excuse me. That's not from the fund, that's the general fund.
General fund, okay. We're also gonna have a public hearing before we take the vote. Public hearing for this ordinance is open. Anyone wishing to speak on this matter, please proceed to the podium and state your name for the record. Hearing none. We have a motion and a second to approve third reading. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance 25-1027, our budget ordinance is passed. Thank you for your work, for you and your staff, Mr. Nixon, and giving us a balanced budget. Sheriff Dennis.
Yes, sir.
Come on down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council as well. And my staff, I'll take you with me. First, dear members of council, I'm incredibly proud to share with you all that Sumter County Sheriff Office has been awarded steep accreditation status by the South Carolina Law Enforcement Accreditation Board. Presentation was last Friday, June the 6th in Columbia, South Carolina. The achievement is not just a personal milestone for me, but a testament to the hard work and dedication of every member of our staff here at the Sumter County Sheriff Office. See, accreditation is a significant achievement and endorsement of our commitment to excellence in law enforcement. It means we have met and exceeded our rigorous standards set forth by the state, demanding our adherence to best practices in policing. This accomplishment enhances our transparency, our accountability, and our professionalism, ensuring that we serve the citizens of Sumter County with the highest quality of service. You see, being accredited is important for several reasons. And a few of those reasons, number one, it increases the public trust. Accreditation fosters confidence in our department operations and decision-making processes, and ensuring the community that we are held at a higher standard. It enhances our training and our performances as well. The accreditation process requires continuous improvement and regular training, and helping us stay current with the modern techniques and technology to serve you better. Grant eligibility. As an accredited agency, we become eligible for certain grants and funding opportunities that can enhance our resources and capabilities. It also improves our community relations. Our commitment to excellence resonates throughout the community, forging stronger bonds and cooperative efforts. So we are proud of this achievement and grateful for your unwavering support, Council. This by the state. And we also, accreditation is not just a badge of honor, but it promises to you, our community, that we are dedicated to serving with integrity, professionalism, and commitment to improving the quality of life for everyone in Sumter County. So thank you for being an essential part of our journey to achieving accreditation. Together, we will continue to make our community a safer and a better place to live in Sumter County. So this evening, I brought the accreditation board, our presentation.
There's nothing better I can say than the sheriff said himself. My name's Trevor Hall. I'm from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Accreditation Council, and it gives me great honor to present this award to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office in front of you all. So, Sheriff, absolutely.
All of you get around that.
So the team member, all of our staff is a part of this. I'm certainly want all of us to take part in this.
Sheriff, on behalf of the South Carolina Law Enforcement Accreditation, the Sumter County Sheriff's Office has demonstrated dedication to excellence and professionalism in South Carolina law enforcement through voluntary compliance to specific standards designed to enhance the professional delivery of law enforcement services, and is recognized as a leader in South Carolina law enforcement and is hereby awarded this certificate of accreditation.
Congratulations, Sheriff Jones. Thank you for your hard work and to all of your staff. Next item on the agenda, authorizing Sumter School District.
Good evening, members of the County Council. And before we get into my brief presentation, and then I'll call on Mrs. Chief Spearman, just want to let the County Council know that we too were accredited this year and also received an Innovation and Impact Award from Cognitive. So we're very proud of that. Not to rain on the sheriff's collar, for sure. We just want to make sure that everybody understood that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And so our motto for this coming year is going to be one district, one purpose, #United for Students. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because we're excited to be here tonight to present to you, ladies and gentlemen of the County Council, but also to thank you for the partnership that we believe is intensifying for the benefit of our students. So thank you very much. In the words of Chairman McCain, if I may borrow your words, sir, we should be, this is almost a quote, if not a direct quote, investing in children to help them learn to read so that they can read to learn. And I think that's so fitting. And so we're excited about this opportunity to partner with the Sumter County Council to initiate a Reading to Learn initiative. With the approval of 3 bills, we can recruit 19 additional retirees and or current employees to serve as auxiliary educators in some of our 140 plus K-3 classrooms across our district. And our largest needs at the present time are in our 3rd grade classrooms, which need a bit of extra preparation and literacy, as well as other classrooms and students who demonstrate learning challenges. Final placement decisions for this, should it be approved, will be made through collaborative efforts from academics, human resources, and my office. And the placement of these auxiliary educators will be based on student achievement needs. However, most, if not all, schools that serve K-3 students should benefit in some form from this initiative. And so we're here tonight simply to say thank you to each of you. As superintendent of schools, I'm delighted that in my personal and professional opinion, things are improving with regards to your support of our school district. I was excited when I heard about the initial meetings between the 2 bodies, and I'll ask that the Sumter School District Board of Trustees stand at this time, just so you know that they're here. Thank you very much. And also, for effect, I also brought some members of our Sumter School District staff, so if you're here, you'll stand at this time. And so again, we simply want to say thank you, and we're excited about the collaboration and partnership exploration that has occurred recently and look forward for that trend to continue. For America's schools, America's public schools are in need. Sumter School District is certainly no exception to that. So over the next few years, we will need to make significant investments into our schools to fix infrastructure as well as other needs. But make no mistake about it, recruitment and retention efforts for quality employees are also an essential part of our future. And I'm grateful as superintendent that you as a collective body are are at least willing to entertain and engage in conversations about our needs. The children of Sumter County and their families are depending on us. And again, thank you. At this time, I'd like to present Mrs. Shatika Spearman, our Sumter School District Chief Finance Officer, who will present the budget for the 25-26 school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. I didn't know where you were. All right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I stand before you to present Sumter School District's 25-26 budget request. To begin, we have identified 6 major budget priorities that drive our request. Those include professional development focuses, facility improvements, instructional supports, continuously recruiting and retaining high-performance workforce, post-ESSER operations, because we are still feeling the effects of after ESSER, and leveraging our fund balance. For fiscal year expenditure projections, we wanted to start with what the teacher's salary has changed since 2017. It has gone from $30,113 for starting salary to $48,500 is what the estimate is for 25-26 for a first year bachelor's degree teacher. And so, as you know, last year we did pour into our employees, into our salary schedule, to do a salary study so that we would have some more competitive salary. And so we're still trying to maintain that, as you will see. I wanted to go ahead and get right into our expenditures. When I build a budget, I start with the expenditures because we know that is what can be controlled and what kind of drives the budget as well. For the certified teacher salary, the state is proposing a $1,500 increase per sale. And for Sumter School District, that increase alone is cost us $1.4 million. And these numbers that I give regarding salaries include salary and fringe estimates. For our certified teacher salary, just to give our teachers a step for the increased year of experience, that is estimated at $2.9 million increase, which is also salary and fringe. Bus drivers are proposed to receive a 2% increase. That increase is estimated at $74,600 for Sumter School District. For step increase for all of our other employees, because we want to maintain that all employees are kept on their scale and their steps, we estimate $4.5 million of salary and fringe estimates. For more supports and to ensure that our code of conduct is maintained throughout our schools, we have 6 positions for behavior interventionists. We're estimating that at $432,500. For more supports with our instructional coaches, we are estimating 15 positions needed for our general fund, and that is estimated at $1.9 million of salary and fringe. We are in need of an assistant AP at Cherryville. That is salary and fringe, $130,000 estimated there. An administrative assistant at Raccoon Creek, $41,129 salary and fringe. An American Sign Language interpreter. And this will be housed at our Bates School. That is estimated at $40,000 salary and fringe. Transition specialist for alternative school SASE. That is estimated at $47,000. We have our virtual school offering. We're estimating $125,000 in Edmentum licenses to ensure that that is available for our students. And also for that same support, we're requesting a special education teacher for the virtual support for that at $77,000 to include salary and fringe. We are identifying our expenditures related to the teacher support K-3 salary and fringe, the 3 meals that we will be requesting to come out to $639,912, and we'll talk more about how that will be spent. And the final increase of our expenditure is a district and non-district coaches stipends increase of $100,000. So our total projected expenditures for FY 2026 is at $12,505,461. That is what we're estimating for additional new identified expenditures. As we talk about millage, of course, our millage for our current operations is set at operating millage of 159.4 mills, and our debt service is set at 60 mills. We are estimating that of the increase of the amount of ad valorem taxes to be received next year, we're estimating that the current portion will be about 24.9 million. The delinquent is based on a flat number. We're estimating at 1.2 million. The vehicle amount is estimated at $8.1 million. And so that is what the RFA sent to the district. For this particular year, in joining in with our collaboration, we are requesting the 3 additional meals to provide additional teacher support focused on our K through 3 classrooms. 3 meals, which translates into $639,912. And the funding plan is to employ up to 18 paraprofessionals, and that would include salary and fringe, to the tune of $639,912. Of course, each school district is dealing with the up and down effects of student enrollment. We are pretty consistent on seeing a 3% reduction slightly for last year and this year. And so we're going to estimate that again for 25-26. So we're expecting a 3% reduction in our 45th and 135th day ADM. The South Carolina funding formula has changed since a couple of years. And so the number of students in the state for 25-26 is estimated at 770,504 total students, divided by an 11.2 student-teacher ratio. So this formula gives us what the state expects to have as far as the number of teachers. So they expect about 68,795 teachers statewide. This up against $77,879 Masters plus 12 salary and fringe amount gives a total pot of over $5 billion. So for FY 2026, $112 million of new state aid to classroom funding is available, and we are allocated our portion based on our WPU. When we compare public schools and charter school funding, there is a state proviso of which 57,000 of students are for charter schools, and they are estimated to receive about 50 million of that 112 million. And the remaining 61,200,000 is available for public school districts. And that revenue per charter school student is $889 per student, and that revenue per public school student is $79.43 per student, just for FYI. As you know, state aid to classroom has changes from each version of legislature, whether it is House Ways and Means, Senate Finance, and the Conference Committee. For the House Ways and Means, we expect an increase of $3,033,003 for that line item of revenue. The Senate Finance version gives us a $2,118,210 increase, and the final Conference Committee gives us a $2,326,680 increase. So those versions are what has gone through the legislature. So the other piece of the budget, just as important, of course, as expenditures, is our revenue. Of course, we expect to receive the additional $3,103,247 of ad valorem taxes. And of course, the way we budget is that we use the current fiscal year as our base budget, and any increases to any of those lines, we increase the revenue and expenditures. And so we show it in that fashion. The additional 3 meals will have our K through 3 teacher support. That's $639,912 for that effort. Our interest on investments has been doing very well. We estimated an additional $1,075,000 over what we had for budgeted this year. So currently, we have, for local revenue, we expect a $4.8 million increase. And that has been updated. I have the updated one. Currently, the school bus driver salary amount is at $200,000 of increase. We expect a reduction of our transportation workers' comp of $11,585. Retiree insurance is expected to increase about $601,000. State aid to classrooms, based on the budget that we had last year, we will see a reduction of about $2.5 million. Health insurance has an increase expectation of about $500,000. And the other increase is the property tax relief tier 3, the letter that we received from the Revenue and Fiscal Affairs Office. We're expecting a $984,704 increase of that revenue line. Again, for the state portion of our revenue, overall, we're expecting a $225,000, $872 decrease. And again, this has been updated. We do participate in the Impact Aid program for our federally impacted areas. And so we expect an increase of $25,000 for that. So for the total projected increase of revenue, we expect a net amount of $4.6 million of increase. Well, when you compare what I stated, the revenues increases at 4.6, our expenditures increases at 12.5, that's a difference of 7.8. So when your expenditures exceed your revenues, then we look at reducing our base. We'll look at reducing our base and making sure that our expenditures and revenue have been updated. We are going to reduce our base by a 6.6% reduction, which translates into $10.9 million. That will then we'll add our 12.5 of needed expenditure, and that will create our new fiscal year 2026 budget base of $168,533,809. This is a balanced budget, and this particular year, we do not have to use our fund balance to balance it. Last year was the first time that we had to utilize approximately $3 million of our fund balance to balance. So we're very happy that we don't have to do that this year. As far as the next steps in our budget process, just for FYI, we had a public input meeting on last night, and we have our county council meeting today. The next portion is for our policy. It requires 2 readings of our budget to be approved, and we have that tentatively scheduled for June 23rd at 6 o'clock. And that is our budget process. I am very happy that it's on the downhill. So we thank you for your support. And if there are any questions regarding what I've stated, I do apologize for the difference in the numbers, but they update all the time. We received new information just today. So thank you for your patience, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
No questions. Dr. Wright,
Comments.
go ahead.
Just thank you for your hard work. This was really great information, and I'm ready to make a decision when we're called for the vote.
Want to offer one point of clarification, if I may. We are going to approve the suggestion of many of our folks. We're going to delineate what we call these employees under the millage increase. We're going to call them auxiliary educators. So I want to make sure that we have paraprofessionals already. But we're going to use the term auxiliary educators because the goal is maybe to have some people already working for us who want to take the next level, but also we feel like we can get into the retiree market and get some people to come back and work with us. So I just want to make that point of clarification. Okay.
Dr. Wright, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Public hears this from the horse's mouth.
Yes, sir.
It has long been my belief that both of my parents were educators. My mother taught me in the 5th grade. Happened to be the worst year of my life. But with that being said, from kindergarten through the 3rd grade, our children are learning to read.
Yes, sir.
If they are not reading by the time they finish the 3rd grade, they are going to be behind because from the 4th grade on, they're reading to learn. So therefore, if they are not reading by the time they reach that milestone grade, they're going to be behind the rest of their high school and middle school and high school career. And we've got to capture these children early so that we can get them on reading. So the idea behind this initiative, and I want to thank Councilman Washington and Councilman Baker for meeting with the school board with me to offer this initiative. The Reading to Learn initiative is to put in targeted classrooms K through 3, 2 paraprofessionals and a teacher, so we'll have 2 people in those K through 3 schools to help those children be on track to learn how to read by the time they finish the 4th grade.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to thank Councilman Baker for presenting this idea. He's been pushing this idea for years, at least 8 to 10 years, maybe longer. And I think it's a great idea, and I am full support of it. And I look forward to seeing some results.
Mr. Baker?
Well, it feels strange being on the other side here with y'all. I talk to y'all every year with your budget, and I'm real funny about even the county's budget. And you know, this is something I believe in. I was a teacher, and of course I was a PE teacher, so that's not a lot with reading, but I did hear the ins and outs with the teachers, and I understood the importance of a student learning to read by 3rd grade. And you know, I look at our current situation, and I say a lot of students are falling through the cracks, and I think it's not even cracks anymore, it's holes, and we see them being picked up. We read about them in the paper, it seems like. I feel that if you went to the jailhouse and asked them if they'd like to read a book, I don't think any of them sitting in there would be interested in reading a book, because I think they lost that opportunity in 3rd grade. So I am really excited about this partnership. I want it to be a partnership. But 2 things I want to say is, I know when we talked about it, I was hoping that y'all were going to add some what do you call them?
Auxiliary.
Auxiliary. I was hoping that y'all were going to be able to add a few to it, so we could cover more classes. But you know, that's fine. I think anything will help, and I think it'll take a while to see an improvement. But this is something you can follow each year, I guess, the students and the test, and see if it makes a difference. And I really believe in my heart that this will make a huge difference. I believe it worked at Kershaw. It's some type of reading initiative that they put in, and it has really been positive.
Yes, sir. And I'm excited about those projects. There's a lot of them affect the rural area, which, as you know, I represent. I think my district and the council lady from Shiloh, both our districts do not touch the city limits. And so we're always excited when rural people can benefit and prosper. And so there are a number of things we're discussing in partnership with the school district, and I look forward to that continued relationship. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for your leadership on that. And I want to thank the school district, Dr. Wright, Dr. Reagan, Mr. Austin, for the opportunity for us to work together and make progress in Sumter County. Thank you, Mr. Washington.
Yeah, and ditto to what everybody's saying. I really miss being a part of the school district, and I'm thrilled to hear the support that I'm feeling and sensing from my colleagues. And it's a good feeling to be on one accord and to be ready to help you all. That's that anchor that I prayed for in the prayer, and I mean it with all my heart. And you know, I'm retired, not quite so available, but if I can be of any assistance, please let me know. And this is not bragging, but I am a reading teacher, and I still can do it. And I was the distinguished reading teacher for the district one year, and I still have those skills, and I would love to be able to help. Not so much as a financial gain, but just to help. And I also want to throw in some advocacy for and I'm glad that you have that, and you've changed the name to auxiliary teachers, and they deserve that, because I'm sure you're going to get some quality by being able to get some retired teachers in there. But I also like to advocate for the paraprofessionals that work in your classrooms every day. Those individuals have a big responsibilities. I'm sure you're aware of that. And so many times I feel like they're like undercompensated, and compared to what they have to do. I know that when teachers are out, the parapros have to fill in and do what they can do. And you want to maintain that quality of teaching even with your parapros. And so I just want to advocate for them to have an increase, and I hope that that's in your budget.
Thank you.
If there are no more comments, I'd like to entertain a motion to accept school district's request for a 3 mil increase.
I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 3 mil increase for the purposes of putting 2 teachers, however you want to name them, in some select K through 3 classes in order to improve their reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have a number of proclamations that need to be approved tonight, council. The first one is Women's Veterans Day proclamation for June 12th, 2025 in the county of Sumter. Yes, please.
Make motion to approve the Women's Veteran Appreciation Day for June the 12th proclamation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve proclamation making June 12th Women's Veterans Appreciation Day. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We have another one for June the 14th, which is an Army Day proclamation in the county of South Carolina.
Make a motion to approve the Honor Day proclamation for June the 14th, 2025.
Second.
Motion and second that we approve Army Day proclamation for June 14th. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And this is one that's close to me. Vitiligo Awareness Month for the month of June 2025.
I make a motion to approve the day of the thing.
Second, we have a motion and a second. We have the month of June 2025 Vitiligo Awareness Month. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Come now, ordinance 2510, first reading of our waste management.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, ordinance 251030 is an extension of the agreement we have with waste management. We started off with them in 2001 and had a 4 or 5 year terms, and that ended in 2020, and we extended that to 2025, and now we're extended to 25 to 2030. Does that take any questions?
Move approval. Second. It's been moved and properly seconded that we have first reading on ordinance 2510. It's our agreement with waste management. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Before we move into old business, if anyone wants to leave now, it's a good time. Otherwise, you can stay or leave.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you all very much.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is ordinance number 251029, sale of the airport road property.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, on first reading, you had an offer to purchase 3 acres of property on Airport Road. So it was $72,750, but that changed, that offer's been changed now, purchased 4.4 acres, and the price will be $106,700, assuming that the property, when it's surveyed, will be 4.4 acres, the price will be $24,250 per acre, which is what the per acre value was at 3 acres. I think we're supposed to have a public hearing on this before.
The public hearing will be a third reading.
Third reading, I'm sorry. Thank you. So that's the motion.
To have second reading.
Move for approval. That's four of us up here.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the sale of property on Airport Road. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And Mr. Eads, he has recused himself. Mr. Attorney.
Yes, sir, next item on the agenda is ordinance 25-1028. It's the sale of property on Northwest Drive, commonly known as the Greenhouse. Sumter County Veterans Group has offered to purchase the property for $50,000. The county council approved that on the first reading, and the purchaser has come back and asked for an extended payment plan. So the down payment, when it closes or when the contract is signed, will be $25,000. Second payment will be $10,000 by December the 1st, 2026. Another $10,000 by December the 1st, 2027. So the final payment of $5,000 by December 1st, 2028. So the plan is to put this all into a contract and have that for you by next reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ordinance 25.
It's been moved and seconded that we have second reading on the ordinance 25-1028. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Come now to committee reports. Mr. Byrd, Internal Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Internal Affairs, we met this afternoon. Following action was taken. First action was a motion and second to appoint Allie Davis to the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Advisory Committee. Motion and second coming from the committee.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Also, a motion and a second to appoint Herm McCleary to the Development Board.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Also, a motion and a second to appoint Cindy Brooks Parks to the Irish Festival Committee.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next action was the Cultural Commission. A motion and a second to appoint Selena Ruth Smith and Tiffany Holmes to that committee.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that concludes our report.
Thank you. We did have a budget workshop today. The results was reported by Mr. Mixon. We did discuss 3 contractual matters. We instructed the staff to continue negotiation on the sale of property on Airport Road. And we heard about to continue discussion with the combat development. Okay, come down to reports from County Council members on other meetings or trainings. Hearing none. I'll bring your attention to the upcoming events that were in our file. Come down to public comment. Citizens desiring to speak during public comment are limited to up to 3 minutes. Comments are to be made through the chairman. If there are any questions, they will be answered after the meeting. We have 3 minutes. I now declare public.
These high school kids need a way, if they're getting out at midday, they need a way to get to their other jobs or to take other courses. So we need to have a serious conversation because other states have done it, where their high school kids ride for public transportation, which would free up the school buses to pick up the elementary and middle school kids and maybe not even have them get up so early in the morning. Because I knew when I drove bus, we started before 6 o'clock. So that's really early for a little kid to get up. So I want us to think about a 2 conversation. And along with the 3 meals that you're giving to the school for auxiliary teachers, we need to think about the alternative school. What is going to benefit them also? Because they're already behind the line.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Tracy Rogers, and we've been talking to you all regarding communication among the council, the community, and getting information out. So I wanted to know, is there a formal written plan for various methods of communication to the public? I know at some point you all discussed possibly putting some plan of action in place, and I think that just kind of disappeared. So I know that you all have discussed it. And I know that you all have mentioned more than once or twice about reaching out personally, reaching out through community meetings whenever there's a subject that requires more attention than just a 3-minute conversation here at the council. So we're requesting that written communication be given in response to any question asked by the community during the county council committee meetings. We would suggest that this is done by adding a community question and answer section to the meeting minutes. Also, Mr. Chairman, we would ask that you present the question and the answer at the next county council meeting. The question and answer would then be recorded on the video and noted in the minutes that are published online. Ms. Sisson mentioned at the last meeting that we would like to see county council utilize Facebook in a more effective way to communicate to the public regarding meeting calendars, upcoming events, special meetings, anything that is necessary to get information out to the community. I realize it's only one tool, not everybody uses it, but it is a great platform. You do have a Facebook page, so I feel like y'all could probably utilize it a little bit better. Also, she proposed that county council return to streaming meetings live as it was done during COVID. One of the answers she was given was that there's not enough funds in the budget to maintain live feeds. So I'm not quite sure what that entails, but you post your videos for these meetings regularly. They're on YouTube for the public to access. Just last night, the school district held their meeting live. I'm just not quite sure if we were doing it during COVID, why we can't return to that. Because that allows some people that are not able to get here to have access to what's being said and to have the information. I'm looking to see, I had a couple of other things. I know that Kershaw County streams their meetings live. I know that you all have discussed returning to that practice. So I want to know how or who implements those changes. How do those changes come about? I mean, we can present it to you all day long and ask you questions and ask you to give us that information through these avenues, but how do we know that you're going to consider it and that it can be done? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rogers.
Good evening. My name is Louis Watkins. I live here in Sumter. I'm a little confused about the budget process and giving money to the Department of Education for school district. Because when I look at my tax statement, it appears that the school district is receiving at least 65% of the taxes that I pay. And also, if they're receiving that amount of money, and I'm on a fixed income, like most people, eventually the tax is going to go up if we have to, if they have to come to the county. Then I've heard a few times that the school district, they have like 8% surplus, $8 million surpluses, and they have the money. So I was just sitting back and I'm listening to them coming here, giving us the story and giving all this information. And it seemed like it's a shaming process, that we need this money for the kids. But what's happening to the money that we give you? That's what I was concerned about. I know they have lawsuits and stuff against the school district, so they have to spend money. But if there's some holes that need to be plugged up, they need to be plugged up before they come and ask for more money. And I know eventually my tax is gonna go up. And you have senior citizens who hardly can pay taxes now. People are losing their homes, you know, because they can't pay their property tax. And so I just think that we need to be very concerned about how we spend the money, how we spend our money. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Webb.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Eugene Baton, former chairman of Sumter County Council, during two of the most outstanding years in the county history. I was chairman during 2011 when we had the biggest investment in county history, $500 million, 1,500 jobs paying more than median income. Also during 2012, we had some of the best bond rating and outstanding financial status in the history of this county. I just want you to be aware of that. I'm sure you are. But I'm here now because I want to really commend you. I want to commend you for finally recognizing that education is the backbone of economic development in this county. But for the last 8 years, 4 of you have degraded public education in this county. As a result of that, our 3 high schools are rated, 2 rated below average, Sumter High and Crestwood, and 1 is rated unsatisfactory. This is a final chapter for kids to go out into their history of future, their education, future education. But you have degraded them and allowed them to not even read. You're talking about this. Yes, they are committing crime because we degraded their education. Now, you want to start at the beginning? We've been talking about that for years. I know Council, Mr. Robinson and I were sitting there talking about it, that beginning is good. But what are you going to do with the people who you pass through that cannot read? You should have given, if you want to do something, you should have given the school district the 5.2 mills, all that they were entitled to by South Carolina Law Act 388. Then you would have been making a positive decision because you could have took some of that money and put it into the high schools and middle schools that are failing those skills, So, like I said, you have finally taken a step in the right direction. But don't think you will get kudos because we've been talking about this, Ms. McGaney, Ms. Councilman Washington, about reading in elementary school for years. We have been talking about it. So you finally did it, congratulations. And I want to say, I don't know what Mr. Watkins is on, but South Carolina Act 388, which was passed in 2007, took taxes off of private home owners for public education. So they don't pay taxes. But it put the ownership on businesses, and your protecting businesses was the reason why public education suffered degraded. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Ware, and I'm Jennifer Braylow, and I'm here by Shakina Road. When I was here the last time, I told y'all that I couldn't get my meals on here because they wouldn't come back to the area. Now, I can't get my medication. They ain't up the truck or USP, whoever came, they tied my medicine on a tree now. Yeah, we did. I sent a picture. Anyway, now, this morning, I had a doctor's appointment. I called, I couldn't get nobody to take me, so I called Hoover. Hoover came and picked me up, took me to my appointment. When he dropped me off, he told me, he said, well, miss, you don't have to pay me anything. He said, you have to find another way home. Now, I can't get a ride to the doctor. When I called for the bus, they told me, said that they saw the paper, our road, Shakima Road, in the item. And if they're not gonna bring the trucks back there to, mess the trucks up and we can, so what am I supposed to do? Now, when I had to call me a ride from the doctor, I had to call my sister. She came and picked me up, but what she did, she took me to her house. Why? Because she's not gonna take her car back on the road. So I had to sit to her house and my other sister get off that lives back there, pick me up to take me home. And I mean, we didn't have anything to do with that road. That road back there before we even bought it. So I mean, I don't know how it could be public, private, whatever, but it's just getting a mess now. I mean, I don't know how much more I can take. Because I mean, with my medication, it's a sad thing. Thank God she came through on time and got it before somebody else could have got it. You know, and that would have been just dope for me. I don't know. But I don't want y'all to feel sorry for me. I just want you to help me. Yeah. But I don't know.
Mr. Washington, I sent you the pictures of the medicine being tied on a tree branch coming down Shakima Road. I mean, anyone could have picked it up, and it was her medicine. We're just hoping something can happen with that road as soon as possible.
I can't move on because I don't move my tree back there. But I thank y'all for listening to me.
Thank you, Ms. Webb.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day. Be careful.
Mr. Chairman, when the medication was delivered, they reached out to me.
Sorry, if it's not, I just need to know, and I don't know who to ask except for y'all. Every time I'm in here, and you know I'm new at this, but y'all talk about the proclamations and the awareness months. What is that? What's it for? What does it do? What's the benefit? Why are we doing that, and what effect does it have? Am I asking that right? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay, thank you, that's all. Thank you.
Anyone else? Public comments closed.
Move for adjournment.
Second. Move the property secretary that we're adjourned. Discussion.